Hey, yes, is it working? Hello, testing, 1 2 3, testing, 1 2 3. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Justin, and you're watching or listening to 275 of DangIT Prodcast. In this episode, it is just me. Surprising, but also unsurprisingly, yeah, I feel like there's a pattern going on. You know how when you text someone and it's someone that you're actually quite interested in, and you ask them like, hey, would you want to be doing this sometime together? And he or she will say like, oh yeah, sure, of course. And then you have to follow up with them like, hey, what's going on? And he or she says, or at least in my specific, like, or at least from my perspective, it would be a she say like, oh, yeah, sorry, it's not gonna happen. Oh, well, I'll try next time. And you're like, yeah, sure. And you just get ghosted. Actually, that's how I am right now with the dating app scene. So, in any case, to jump into a much more positive note, let's give a quick shout out to people in the chat, which is just Ibrahim and Mark. So there we go. There's our audience for today. So, obviously, big things to cover. And when I mean by big things, I mean like very underwhelming things. Area 51, let's talk about that really, real quick. So, I think it happened yesterday, or at least it was scheduled for yesterday. The whole Naruto run, and then the whole collision with like, oh, what are they hiding in Area 51? Let's Naruto run to that. And so that was pretty much the whole premise, and that was the whole hype train. And as of yesterday, kind of really died down. You know why? Because they ended up just having a concert there. That's it. But hey, they only had one job, and aside from putting Naruto up onto news outlets everywhere, that's one thing. And then the second one was just simply one guy running in the background in front of like a news anchorman. That's all they needed to do. That was the only thing that needed to be done to solidify it, and they did it. So you know what? I'm glad that the outcome turned out to be not as violent as people would say it would happen to be, but it was a lot more controlled. I actually stepped on my lunch. I actually didn't have time to have lunch today. I kind of was running under time. This is what happens when you decide to dedicate yourself to A, trying to finish the game, 2, trying to visit an animal shelter every like weekend, and 3, making on time for a podcast. But that's just my life. I wonder if people can actually relate to. Well, I guess to some extent, I'm pretty sure some people can relate to that. It's very specific, and I guess maybe if you like live stream like regularly as a content creator and such, then maybe. What game are you trying to finish? Fire Emblem, of course, because that is, yeah, they done the math correctly. You're pretty much spending like 80 hours like each like route, and that's not even considering like the different branching paths that can possibly come out of each one of them. So it's just like, shit. I'm in for a long run. I'm totally down with it, but it's just like that means that I can't play games like whatchamacallits, Link's Awakening, because if I try to do both of them at once, I'll literally explode. I was interested in some other things. I'll actually jump into that little topic in a little bit, but yeah, Fire Emblem is still taking over my life. But the problem is that I'm so limited with time with that game. I'm sitting down there for like an hour and a half. That is not enough. If it takes you 80 hours to finish the game, to like your satisfactory, but then there's ratcheting path lines that you obviously are going to take, then that's like 3 times the amount. I won't be done with this game until like the very next year is what it feels like. But yeah, the whole thing with Area 51, it was a concert. That was great. Or at least I think they did that. That wasn't the whole plan, right? But that was just one of those things, and I thought that was actually kind of cool. So at least it didn't end up as bad as we thought it would. Ibrahim was saying, and I think the government put out some type of footage of a UFO confirming it's a UFO, but people saying it's fake. So it's just like, well, the answer still lies in whether they hide in aliens or not, And I mean, I personally don't really care about their own privacy, or rather the whole thing that they might be hiding over there. That's their thing. I'm doing my thing over here. They can just do whatever they want over there as long as they don't really just go outwards and kill people. But of course, if they're warranted warning, then that's off their hands too. But okay, so there is something I want to talk about, and it's think of it as like a little bit of a filler, because I found this like really interesting. I did want to share it. Was the fact that you know how like on you have like shows like The Walking Dead, and they have like the Talking Dead, like a much more like person to person interview type of like show that follows after it, that's kind of connected. Well, this wasn't a recent discovery of mine, but definitely what brought it back up again was the anime called Demon Slayer. And for those of you who don't know, Demon Slayer is pretty much your I won't say post-apocalyptic because it's happening just like in the real time, but it deals with I guess we could call it just samurais and demons. There we go. That's the show. And it recently dawned on me that they actually have a little bit of a radio show for like the cast to talk to each other as far as interviews and everything like that from the main cast. Well, actually is the main cast, talking about different topics, questions being submitted here and there, or just general things about their life and everything like that. And I recently, not recently, but I did discover like the fact that anime does have some radio shows here and there, from ReZero, I believe. I think ReZero was the first show that I had watched, that I started noticing a feed of like interview stuff. And that was like where the radio shows came from. And I found that Demon Slayer and My Hero Academia's anime radio is absolutely golden. Because over there in My Hero Academia, they got like funny bits about their life, but they're also kind of fans of the characters the same way as we are. So it's like, oh, like one particular example was what was it? The head dude, or at least, I mean, Mr. Attitude and everything like that are narcissistic and everything, from like Class 1B. Him and the voice for Deku and Kaminari were in the same like room, and they were talking about like characters that they admired, and I couldn't say blonde character because Kaminari is also blonde, but Class 1B's character, he said aside from Sue, it was also Jiro, and then all of a sudden it's like Jiro, and then Deku on the side here was just like, oh shit, it's a rival. And then they go on and on about like, oh, I like her character, her personality, her lame clothes are pretty cute, and it's like, excuse me. You say she cute, but she lame clothed. And it's like, whoa. Oh man, like it's just a fun time when like casting characters do that. And then fast forward to when I watched the Demon Slayer one, where it's like our main character versus like our like blonde lightning attributed like but very shy and scared character. I don't know what happened, but the context is that they were whispering to each other, and our main character's voice actor was talking about like how much he would lose his earphones. He was like, well shoot, what should I do? You know what? If I'm gonna lose them anyway, why not buy like 20 like very cheap ones, $5-6? And he said 3 months later, I've not lost any of them. And it was one of those moments where it's like, I totally get it. Like, I totally get it. But what's crazy, though, is the fact that I'm so kind of acclimated to, like, listen to them because, I mean, they're just regular people, but in other contexts, you would never, ever meet these people, nor would you understand them because it is a different language. Thankfully, it was subtitled. But, yeah, they're pretty much like celebrities, as Mark was putting it out there. Yeah, makes sense. They have interviews. They are celebrities. And for some reason, and this kind of like pervades like throughout media. Like we've had talk show hosts, for example, talking to these like actors, celebrities, other types of talent, and we derive a lot of content from that entertainment, and it's just them talking like normal people. And it kind of made me reflect on what we do here on DangIT Prodcast, which is just us talking, just open forum like, in front of, well, you guys, the audience. Now, granted, though, it would be a lot better if we had more of a dynamic of more than one, but things do happen, and I think it's also kind of like a natural thing to kind of just showcase, and the fact that this all kind of came from like a whim to do podcasts like after DJ left. Granted, though, we did reconnect with DJ like, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Man, dude, I can't believe it. Dude, that 9 hour, I still can't get over that 9 hour drive. That 9 hour drive like killed me. Even though I wasn't even driving for most of the part, like my first like leg of the journey was, well, the very first shift, and that was fine. But of course, sitting like in the car for too long was like, ugh, even like with breaks here and there. And then my last shift was absolutely a killer because everyone else just went to sleep as I was driving, and I felt like I was nodding off to sleep. But thankfully, Dragon Force was able to play in the background, so I was like, "Oh, let's go!" But this actually segments to another little topic that I got going on here. We've all, I mean, like, I'm not sure, like, we talked about, like, in the public realm here, but I know that I voiced the idea that me wanting a Tesla was out there, because the thing looks cool. It looks like a spaceship on wheels. All the models, by the way. But you know, I recently got in, I feel stupid, but I've been getting a little bit more into what was it? Sorry, it's not cringy or anything like that, but it's just like I forgot. What would you call them? It's really just like car reviews, but also like driver perspective videos of people driving in their Teslas and them giving their feedback about what it's like to have one. And I've been so into them because everything is controlled by the monitor display. I mean, you have like the natural, like regulated, like legal things like on the wheel, but from everything else is just kind of controlled either on your phone or just like the tablet or display. And so car reviews, I guess so, Mark. But sometimes it's not even like a car review. It's just like, what's one example? Oh, like kind of like a vlog perspective, kind of like things like, oh, 700 miles or 900 miles later, how do I feel about this car? Or taking my Tesla out to 900 miles, is that possible? And they talk about how the superchargers and where they're placed kind of make it a lot more convenient, but also cheaper to recharge, really. But man, dude, like, I have my eyes on the Tesla Model 3, mainly because it's a very much more simplistic design versus like the the S, which would be, though, a lot longer range performance. It's I don't know, I just like the simplicity of like the 3, because it really is just a very flat dashboard, a wheel, display. That's it. But the cool thing was the whole autopilot, and seeing people actually activate autopilot in those videos was absolutely maddening. So considering that we're seeing a lot more Teslas on the road, at least I have definitely seen one. I'm pretty much seeing one like almost every other day. It's wild. But it's crazy. But Mark's saying, show me your Tesla so I may decide whether or not I want to Elon Musk my ride. And speaking of Elon Musk, I want those cat girls. What? Oh, no. He's talking about... actually, I feel like that was a while back ago where Elon Musk just sent out a random tweet just saying like, I love anime girls or something like that. or at least I love 2D girls. There's something wild like that, and it's just like, wow, Elon Musk, like you are definitely, well, you're a lot more likable than Trump. I'll tell you that much. But dude, and the thing is that I could pretty much afford a Tesla like right now, but it's just like me and like that Corolla have been like in a relationship for like 7 years now, and just right now we're just going to try to replace the brakes because I'm actually kind of a hard breaker. Sorry, I thought of the song. You're a heartbreaker, dream maker. But oh yeah, definitely when I was like a lot younger, where like I'd drive faster and I would just hit the brakes, not slam them, but just like hit them a little bit harder, especially like getting closer to the intersection. So I mean, I've definitely calmed down a lot since then, but it feels like the damage has already been done. Not to mention, there's just things that still consistently happen on the road. But I would say, yeah, I think I've already talked about it in the previous podcast or so, but pretty much like when that car turns 20 or so, or I reach 100,000 miles or less, that's what I'm gonna actually start considering. So I'm very much looking forward. Oh yeah, I know that it was announced back in 2017, but I was on the Tesla website too, and I was actually looking at what was it? Is it called the Roadster? Yeah, it is the Roadster. Dude, like it does the exact opposite of what sports cars do, in the sense that it goes fast, but it goes fast for a long period of time. And what I mean by that, I'm talking about mileage. The thing has like 620 miles it can go for total without needing to do. That is literally like our trip to Utah in one sitting. And then going back, we have to charge it back up again. But it's like, yo, like, actually, I think it's a little slightly more. So it's technically like one fuel up and that's it. But it's still really fast. It takes like 1.9 seconds to reach 60 from 0. It's like, ooh, and then was it 4.8 seconds to like in total to reach like 100? It's like, you got in your goddamn mind. But Aisha says hello. What was it? Tesla pickup coming soon, and Jordan. But yeah, that's all I really want to say is just, all right, well, I'm pretty much sold. In addition to that, what's really cool is that, well, actually, I say that I'm done, but I continue to add more. The fact that the Tesla is actually always on. There is no on or off button. It just is on. And so, because it's electric and you're probably going to be at the fuel station, why do I say fuel station? Charging station, supercharger. It kind of makes me think weirdly about like how it's weird to see people turn their car on and leave it. And that's not everyone. It's generally for people who maybe have like a dog here or there who just needs AC or something like that. Which, by the way, the Tesla does have a dog mode, which I think is absolutely just charming. But that's still not going to stop people from breaking down your windows. Tesla's always listening. But like, it's super cool. That's all I can say about it. It's just like, it is a spaceship. It's a smartphone, but a car. It's wild. It's wild. But yeah, Mark is asking about dog mode. So pretty much dog mode is just a setting where like the AC is set to however you would like to set it. So like let's put 70 degrees. So it's nice and cool in the back, so dogs can just chill out. They even have it like on the Tesla YouTube page where they actually show not just like a preview of it, but also like a 360 camera of the owner just like leaving the car. The car's actually on, but I'm pretty sure it's locked. And then the AC's going, the dogs will just chill. They chill out. Meanwhile, Abraham's saying like, I would like the Batmobile. But it's like, yeah, Batmobile would be great. So yeah, Tesla. Just, it's affordable for me, but just I'm pretty much have to stick with my Corolla for a while. Love that thing. Absolutely love that thing, by the way. It's just, the DangMobile has just been solidified in my life as just literally the wings that I need to just like be free of this household. Now granted, I love this house, but also at the same time, like, I've had not much. I haven't had that much freedom until I pretty much got my car, because I don't know. My parents were pretty strict with my brother and I as far as going out anywhere. We pretty much like would be either at school or with them or here. That was a limitation. And so yeah, Mark's also pointing out that Sirfetch'd actually came. Oh yeah, that was a thing, right? So Sirfetch'd, evolution of Farfetch in the Galera region for Pokemon Sword and Shield, is absolutely the greatest thing I've ever seen as far as an evolution. Because the stick becomes a leak, and it's a big leak. There's already a really bad like fan art of it. We already know this, but it's also funny. What else is there? There seems to be a lot of flying types that I may or may not be interested in. So what we got, like the cooler Skarmory. Now we got Sirfetch'd, and then there's another one. I think it's the one that like spits things out when it gets like a physical hit on it, and I love it. Becomes a Lance. Leak Lance. Do the thing. I'd feel like the evolutionary requirements for Sirfetch'd would probably be leveling up. Either it learns a move and levels up, or it carries a stick and levels up to a certain level, and then it evolves. Because if it were just the level of nature, that'd be kind of weird, but maybe. That depends. What was it? Yeah, the fish missile bird. That's what it was. Not the exact name for it. But, something else that did come out recently. I did want to, like, put a little bit of mention of it, because it's actually kind of interesting when you think about, like, the dynamic of it. Apple Arcade. So Apple Arcade came out recently this week, and it's pretty much what you would think about with Game Pass. It is a subscription service every month. For this one, it's actually $5 a month for Apple Arcade, and you have access to all these games for free. That's pretty much what it is. The biggest highlights of, as far as games they're being shown, even though they're going to be like pushing out like 50 of them like by next month or so, is I think it's called Oceanside 2 or something like that. It's pretty much like Zelda or budget Zelda Breath of the Wild is what it feels like. But that looks really cool. And they also have Sonic Racing, which is I think is the next best thing. But the reason I bring this up is actually because of the function that it has with the iPad Pros, is that these models actually are able to connect with either an Xbox controller, Microsoft controller, or a PlayStation 4 controller, which I'm like, that's wild. That means it's it's pretty much like an undocked but not connected Switch, but with a bigger screen. So it's like, oh shit. But then like we've seen something like that before in the past, right? But I mean, Switch is still like pretty dominant in like where it stands, but just the fact that you have that option and you can just play it like on an iPad, it's like, oh, that's super cool. And the fact that like you could probably finally use a lot of like the power behind something like an iPad Pro and actually use it for something. But oh my god, people are like mentioning something on Discord, and it's probably relating to Sirfetch'd. I'm gonna be disappointed if it's not the one that I'm talking about. It wasn't, but I'm glad it was exactly what you put in. Mark, you better be sending that to Gabe and or Christoph. Actually, just Gabe. Because now if you had set up like in a different way, that'd be great too. But that's great. That's pretty good Photoshop, actually. Like, what the hell? Like, wait, hold on. I mean, hey, that Photoshop's pretty clean. I mean, all right. I mean, I'll probably have to send that to Christoph and Gabe as well. That's pretty great. But yeah, Apple Arcade. I'm still not really sold on it because Fire Emblem, honestly. Otherwise, I'd probably give it a go. There's actually a free trial for it, 7 days. Um, let's see what else did they got going on here. I think they got a Lego thing. Of course they do. Let's see, Hot Lava, Sneaky Sasquatch. Oh, okay. What the hell is this? Various Day Life. Okay. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Pinball Wizard. Some other stuff. Sayonara, Wild Hearts. Actually, I heard that before somewhere else. But hey, there's that. The Get Out Kids. That's interesting. But oh yeah, okay. There's Lego and everything like that. Skate City. What else is there? Rayman Mini. So it's just a mini version of like the side-scrolling Rayman games. There's Sonic Racing. That's probably like really high up there as far as both the performance-wise and also the requirements and probably the overall like enjoyment of that one. I'm trying to find the other one that I was mentioning and see if I can find it here. Oceanhorn 2. That's what it's called. And it's crazy to think that like it's a full-fledged game. Like when you see it. Oh yeah, Cat Quest. I hear it's here and there about that. But Ibrahim says I have an iPhone 11 now. Oh yeah, Gabe liked it too. That's great. Ibrahim says I have an iPhone 11 now. My mom got mad because my brother bought 2 of them. So yeah. Well, I can understand. I know that iPhone 11 actually, that's also something that they did come out too. The 11 is what, like mid $500, if not $600, and that's if it's just $600 at most. That's not bad actually. Granted, that is the base model. If you want to increase memory and stuff like that and storage, then it's gonna need more. Like I have here, this is like 128 gigs, and that just costs a little extra, but I was totally fine with that because I was so sick and tired of like having to cap off and then always delete something. And right now 128 seems to be a really nice sweet spot for me as far as like I have plenty of space, but I still take a lot of videos or photos if anything. Actually, not a lot of photos, but it's still pretty sizable. Actually, you know what? I'm trying to enter a raffle to get this iPad from work. It's nothing big. It's like a, what was it, 6th generation? And the reason I kind of want that is, well, I have 2 options with that. I either actually like try to do something like that, like, well, maybe connect it to my phone and maybe like play, if I got like the Apple Arcade, maybe play games like from there, or play my existing games on that because bigger screen is better in my opinion for that respect. Or I just actually sell it back from the place that they bought it from, so I can get the money. So maybe I can invest somewhere else, like maybe a new iPad Pro. Actually, you know, those iPad Pros are pretty nice. Actually, Dennis has that, and we were just like doing a FaceTime with his parents with that. But when browsing everything, it just felt good, felt great. So yeah, hats off to the iPad Pro. But let's see, what else is there that I want to bring up? Oh yeah, I was talking about the Nintendo Switch for a little bit. Something else that also came out, the Switch Lite, actually, the $200 one. So here's the thing. Just like the iPhone 11, there's really not much of a reason for me to get the Switch Lite other than maybe collecting it, maybe it's showing on the shelf or something like that, so people can see that in the background and that just be a nice cool decoration or anything like that. I didn't notice that one of the issues initially, I'm not sure it was an issue, but the fact that with the sorry, damn it, I kicked my lunch again. Was that with digital games, I think you still need to be connected to the internet in some respect, so you couldn't fully take it out and do things. I don't believe either that, or I think it's because you can link up like your account to different like consoles, but the main assigned console will be able to take the games with you, and this is just to prevent like other people from taking advantage of your account or not paying specifically. So yeah. Ibrahim was also saying that people are making jokes because it's the same model of the iPhone 10. Well, I mean, yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons why I didn't even want like an iPhone 11 or even the Max, because despite the photos being really good, a lot of the aspects of the phone is pretty much the same. Like, you'll look at it, and except for the fact that it would have like two, or well, for your case, it would be two extra cameras, but or two cameras, and then the Max is three cameras. Aside from that, like, the overall look of this thing is gonna look the same. Exactly. But it does have bigger battery life, so if you haven't gotten like a 10 like XR, or just like, or sorry, the 10R or a 10 Max or something like that, then this is kind of like your way to go. Or that is your way to go. That's a lot of cameras. It is. And I know that there was a thing about the Apple the 11 Max really triggering people's phobias. You know, I forget how to pronounce it, but it was like some trigolo like something for like phobia, pretty much the fear of like many holes. Phobia. I kind of want to like find out. Like, I don't have it that bad, but I also have it too, to a certain extent. Whew. Oh, my hair just started to stand just a tad bit. Oh yeah, it's trypophobia. A version of the sight of irregular patterns or clusters of small holes or bumps. It's not officially recognized as a mental disorder, according to Wiki, but it may fall under a broad category of specific phobia or fear involved in excesses or distressing phenomenon. My thing with trypophobia is the fact that when you see it on skin, that's when it bothers me a hell of a lot. But, I mean, for something like the cameras, it doesn't really bother me. If it's several holes, though, especially on skin, especially when you see it in a video, ooh, I'm gonna keep it to that extent. Also, wow, did I really go through all my topics? Nice, in 30 minutes. A new record. It was really just 5 things. So let me talk about a couple of things going on with the channel. So, things happening with vlogs have been relatively the same. I'm still trying to do some progress on like August, but things have been kind of hard as far as doing that, but also edit like actual episodes of things like DangIT Plays Minecraft and the reactions. I have done like some reactions here and there. It was just I haven't done the editing aspect of it because you gotta like trim it down just a little bit. And with the episodes for Minecraft, I've been finding a lot of stagnant, like silent audio from like commentary in those episodes, like later on, because there's just not really much to say. So it's just like it doesn't really feel entertaining to me. So I have to trim it down to like certain importance where conversation comes back up again, and it's a lot more than I had imagined as far as patience. But yeah, Mark is expecting more Dr. Stone reactions, so those are going to definitely come in. I still love the hell out of Dr. Stone right now. And Fire Force is starting to slightly grow on me, but it's also not the greatest thing in the world, so yeah. Bot flyers could trigger your trypophobia. Oh, no, I got it. I gotta see them now. Oh, is it the results of a bot fly? Because, yeah, removing bot flies from under like human skin. Yep, it's that one. Yep, it's ugh. Whew. That sucks. They suck. Yeah, they leave big holes. Yo, need to come in since I don't shut up. Nah, I'm fine. What else was I going to say? Well, actually, for the episodes, I guess that's if it's just like a natural occurrence, then sure. Like if you're just there, conveniently, then I'll do it. Otherwise, I've kind of been doing like the live streams on Twitch and trying to see if I can make episodes out of that, but it's also kind of weird too because I'm also just dead silent when I do things. Like last night, I was working on creating a skeleton farming setup. Now that we have a spawn point for skeletons, and it was my first time like learning how to do it. So I did all these different approaches, but they didn't work. This thing ended up being like a 2-hour long like stream of just mostly me trying to like isolate everything to make this whole like farming method work, and I did it finally, but just it wasn't really exciting. But the whole shenanigans of me trying to go through all this and still mess up, there's some entertainment value there. It just needs to be edited properly. But yeah, what was it? Ibrahim saying KSI and Logan are at it again, round 2, and Ibrahim's like, yeah. Because it was a tie last time. Learn from your mistakes and don't spend your money. Because if you bet on someone and it's all a tie, then where's the money go? Does it go back to the holders? Hopefully it does. But what else is there I want to talk about? DangIT Plays Minecraft is still going. As I was talking about before, the episodes are just a little bit. They are taking a little bit of time to like really get out there. The other night though, I was really fixated on Minecraft. Like even like after like the whole stream and everything like that, I was up pretty late last night just whatchamacallit, just trying to figure things out as far as like farming things and also like figuring things out as far as enchantments and things I want to do later on in life. Found out that Gabe has not even been home for a long time, but he's been working on a farm like 4,000 blocks away. So it's like, where did Gabe go? And we don't know. It's just like everyone gets to do whatever they want in that realm, and that's the really cool thing about it, because like probably all of a sudden they'll show you what they've been working on, and you have no idea what they've been working on. Zane's coming in with the like the Minecraft But yeah, welcome. But let's see. Saw the new title. You can't gift wolves. Yes, that was specifically. Well, it wasn't directly at you. It was more over like this is the truth in the matter. And it's a shame that you cannot do that. But yeah, Andy doing that. But is there anything else I really wanted to talk about? Not really much. So I feel like I've really expanded. Like I kind of exploded like the first 30 minutes of just like talking about all these different things. Area 51, the anime radio stuff, Switch Lite, Tesla owning, Apple Arcade, all of those I don't have any control over. So I mean, definitely Tesla. Like, dude, it's gonna have to happen. It's gonna have to happen. Just not right now. Also, Mark, by the way, and for everyone who's in the know, in Minecraft, I've been working on trying to get a lot of these wolves. Like, I want like a pack of them. Like the first time I ever played Minecraft like on my own, I ended up with like maybe like around like 30 dogs, and they all just like encompass like my entire house, as if like they are an absolute like watchdog unit. But in this seed, there's absolutely no dogs out there except for except for the puppy that I found, and 2 other ones that I encountered. So I have now 3, but I literally have searched that area and there's no dogs at all. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? I can breed more, but it's like, I'd like to actually like tame more and bring over that way. But yeah, like, guess Justin won't be able to do because Mark took all the rest of the dogs. That's what it seems like. But Ibrahim's saying, hey, Justin, do you want me to send you a link that TNT cannon that can shoot 1,000 blocks away? Nah, the problem is that that's not accurate. Like, it shoots in one direction, but it does not pinpoint on where the particular player is. Now, I can bring up a locator map and find out, like, through there, but it's just like, I'd rather do my own thing. But yeah, Gabe's been far away from home. I tried to like think that maybe he was using like one of the whatchamacallits. He was using like the nether portal. I thought he was gonna use it to get that much distance, and I was like, okay, let's see if I can find his pathway. And I ended up dying in the nether. Usual like affairs here. And that was it. Sucks. Andy's saying you need new defenses. If you need new defenses, ask me. Sure. I have no issues with defenses. Honestly, the real big thing I had was like, what if people just start messing with like all our stuff? Like the community decides to just be like absolute dickheads about it. But it's like, well, everyone's kind of been doing their own thing, so I guess that's fine. Gabe says someone heard and throat punched. Or someone getting to get throat punched because people were messing with his stuff. That was the whole thing, was that someone like laid out just nether racks and like lit them on fire just in front of his house. I asked Gabe about that. He didn't know anything about that. Someone sealed up his cave. He wasn't having that. That's where the throat puncher came in. But yeah, the underground market is open. Says Andy. Yeah, no, I'm just trying to work on getting enchantments. That's kind of my end goal, is just to have like a steady means of enchanting like weapons like of high tier. Like as I was trying to find where Gabe was, like I've noticed that he has like some pretty high like enchantments like in books, and I was like, oh, what the hell, dude? Like he's already been like on top of this. Not to mention like his farming like sections have been like, ugh, like he's been at it. And that, well, actually that's Gabe, because like he like really dedicates his time like doing this because he has no other time to do anything else, or rather he doesn't have anything to do during that time. Sorry, I feel like I'm talking like I'm running on until like I run out of breath. Yeah, okay, that was a slight tap of my thing here. My lunch. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to finish up lunch here too, because another thing to talk about. You know how like you guys remember that I've been talking about running some kind of doxing service? Of course you haven't. So let me recap on that. So you know how like recently I've been, no, not even recently, it feels like a few months now, since like May, June, or July, that I've been like going to the animal shelter like almost weekly to see these dogs at the shelter, and cats here and there, and pretty much just greeting them because they're all literally just good boys and girls. They're all just good. But I've talked about how I'd like to do much more of that kind of stuff, just because like I would like to be able to greet dogs like regularly, because I cannot have one. Also, internet seems to be, it's going to be running pretty low. Just to let you guys know in advance, so if things start to become choppy, you know why. But now I want to do something where like I can like earn something financially because of like what I want to do, and also build up my experience too. So got my first gig. It's really from like one of my coworkers, so this will definitely work. As far as getting my foot like through the door, and figuring myself out as far as like how I want to do these services and everything like that. And right now it's just going to be like pretty much like a one trip visit where I just go there, just make sure the dogs are okay, they're fed, they had some energy like outlet, make sure they have to use the bathroom specifically, and then some of them will just be okay, like put them back in the crate and they're okay for the rest of the night, because the family will be coming in later tonight anyway. So yeah. But what was Mark saying? I have no idea, since I haven't been in Minecraft since I had replaced my Xbox. Well, that's something. Well, that's just kind of like, oh, okay. Yeah, sure. And Andy was saying, like, I think it was due to the prank rules or something like that. Oh, yeah. Don't mess with people's shit. Right. That reminds me, when Steven was invited to Minecraft, he told me that he spawned on top of the little bunker that had the rule book and everything like that. So I was like, oh, that is a flaw, but that's also not my creation, so I'm not gonna really worry too much about that. So my focus now is getting as many librarians as possible to get like enchantments here and there, so I can take care of that easily. The next thing I want to do is Well, actually, really is enchantments, and then I'm gonna go back into the Nether and pretty much go through the whole process of finding the end. So, but the problem is I haven't even found Nether Fortress yet. That place it's hard to find anything there. Like you're just roaming around at that point. Like you don't even know where you're going. It's not really straightforward. It's like, man, this sucks. But I'll be the first to walk in there, right? And just like with my diamond everything and literally hack the hell out of everything that even sleeps or moves. Yeah. So, Andy, if you're noticing choppiness, if that's the response of the then yeah, I'm very full aware of it. Internet's been kind of choppy here and there, so yeah. Andy's actually adding. He's saying that I'm not gonna be that guy, but I cleared out multiple fortresses. But how? Well, we're talking specifically Nether fortresses because I roamed around without really doing much. Like I didn't want to like build anything. I just wanted to see if I can naturally get myself from place to place in the Nether. Eventually, I died because, yeah, and Andy's confirming that yes, he's cleared out many Nether fortresses. How in the hell do you find them? Because you go through my Nether, you go through the portal that we got set up. I barricaded that area, and then when you exit out of it, you go left or right, up or down, wherever, and all I see is nothing but just Nether. That's it. Ghast are just like bothering me. There's so many like pig guys that I'm just like, I don't want to touch you guys. Searching. Well, shit, dude. Like I was searching for like Gabe, and I was wandering aimlessly for like 30 minutes, and I didn't even accidentally come across one. Everything was just. It felt like there was nothing else. So maybe I just need to find a method of searching, because aside from the normal approach from Minecraft, which is punching wood, crafting table, stone pickaxe, iron pickaxe, diamond pickaxe, Nether, beyond that I have absolutely no approach to how you do things, because with the Nether we always like accidentally found the fortress. It was never like, oh, here's how you want to like find the fortress. You want to see if there's a lot more of this here, more of that there, and I'm pretty sure that's not even a factor at all. But I mean, shit, like if honestly all I would really need is just like the material you get from like the fortress to do other things. Maybe like, I don't know, make some potions here and there, because that was also a fun thing to do for DangIT Plays, was to create those potions. And then I mean, we got the end portal like right below us, like in the realm. So yeah, I'm sorry this just became like a Minecraft thing. Like, then again, I don't apologize for ever talking about Fire Emblem, so maybe I shouldn't even apologize for this either. Oh yeah, speaking of Fire Emblem, let's catch up to what I've been up to. Already cleared the first route with Black Eagles, and I'm still working on Golden Deer, which has been a very rewarding one. Because I have Game Plus, new Game Plus. But yeah. All right, guys. Well, you know what? I'm gonna have to do the dog sitting service pretty soon, and I need to eat something. So I'm gonna have to end things here. I also know that not Mark, Steven asked me, because he's also jumping into the realm here and there, that he needs that realm to be reset. So I'll go ahead and do that for him so he doesn't fucking lose it. But yeah. All right. I will see everyone later. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, watching, listening, interacting, doing whatever you want, really, because it's about you guys, and just about, well, actually at this point, yeah, this is about you guys at this point. Where are my guys? But yeah, I'll see you guys later. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. #bye everyone. Episode 275. Forgot to say that too. But yeah, my name is Justin. Thanks for watching. #bye.